Good morning or afternoon or maybe even evening to everybody. How are you guys doing? We're doing cupcakes today. I'm so excited. Welcome to Sacred Space Coloring Corner. I am Michelle. I am your fellow colorist and coloring enthusiast. I love to color. It's always been something that I've done or that I've had in my life, or I've always been someone that doodles. I work with clients a lot. I'm an intuitive, a spiritual intuitive, a spiritual teacher, a spiritual therapist. And I always doodle when working with my clients. It's one of the ways that I process the energies, um, and I color for relaxation and I use coloring for meditation. And the beginning of last year, I all of a sudden had this thing, download, I guess you would call it, of information about doing coloring books and make them meditational tools and self-care tools and make them something that's very inspirational and thoughtful and fun. And so kind of Sacred Space Coloring Corner was born. And then I got my art therapy certification in the last year as well. And so I started Sacred Space Art Therapy. So I now use art and coloring and different kind of art therapy with my clientele as well. And so we get to play and use some of these tools, of mindfulness, of grounding our body, of positive affirmation. Today we're having triple the cupcakey fun. And a lot of times it's important to remind ourselves that life is about fun. We get so caught up in the surviving mentality, and rightfully so. It's not like we're doing it wrong, but we have to bring ourselves back to what really matters sometimes, and that's having fun. And that's what Sacred Space Coloring Corner is about. So again, I welcome all of you. Many of you, probably most of you, are watching this on Patreon. It's also on YouTube for you YouTubers out there. I have my Patreon. I have the banner down there telling you where to come to Patreon to get your free coloring pages every week. We do this every week. I give out a free coloring page and I do this video. And so we can do it all together and have fun. And it's free on my Patreon. I don't charge. I don't have all the tier stuff. I do have a tier if you want to support this and give a little support back, but you get everything that I'm doing for free. You just sign up. You do have to give me your email. And actually it doesn't go to me, but it goes to the process so that I can send you the notifications that this come out and the video comes out, and so that you don't miss anything. So I'm super excited. I'm super excited. This is one of my first coloring books that I did. And that's another thing for all of our coloring pages, most of them. Sometimes I do one-offs for you guys, but the coloring pages come out of my coloring books that you can also buy on Patreon. So it's patreon.com, Sacred Space Coloring Corner. So I hope that you'll come over there and join up with that community, because that's fun. Patreon's really easy to use because it's made for creators. I do have a Facebook group as well where we share our finished coloring pages, and you're welcome to that too. So that information is down below, um, here on the Facebook page. And so we get to have fun, we get to play. So, what colors do we want to use on our cupcake? And I'm really just feeling excited. We're coming into Valentine's Day. It's February 1st, 2024 right now. And so I'm thinking I want to do like reds and pinks and some Valentine colors. So I'm going to look through my colors. Let me show you what I'm using. I am using Castle Art pencils today. I love them. Look at this. It comes like this. It comes in this kit where you have all of these colors. Oh, I love it. I love, love, love it. It's my favorite. And yeah, let's do this. Let's all take a nice deep breath and just kind of breathe in Ooh, and breathe out. And I just invite you to kind of wiggle your toes and wiggle your fingers and feel your feet. And when you bring your awareness to your feet, you do something that's called grounding into your body. And when you ground into your body, it helps you to be more present. And when you're being present, what you're doing is you're letting all the other stuff kind of go away and you're doing just this, right? You're being mindful on what you're doing. You're paying attention to colors, to the swirls, to the shapes. And it's amazing what can happen when we have worries and concerns and stress and all that good stuff. When we just give ourselves a break from that worry and stress and we take our mind away, we take our energy away from that, and we do something like coloring or art or music, something that allows our mind to let go of what bothers us, let go of the niggling things, and focus on something else. It's amazing how the niggly things kind of tend to work themselves out. And some people call that, blessing. Some people call that God. Some people call that, good energy, whatever you call it, it's still the same outcome, right? It's like things get straightened up when we can stop worrying on it and niggling on it. And when we have stress, a lot of times our nervous system is on what I call high alert, and it's hard to relax, right? When we do something like this, it helps us to relax. So, oh my gosh, I was painting the other day and I got paint all over me. So, I'm sorry. So, I am going to pull out some reds and pinks. I'm going to take out, I'm trying to think, do I want to stick with all reds and pinks? Like some deep cherry pinks. I think so. Probably some white. I might pull a little bit of like a turquoisey blue in. Like a nice turquoisey blue, I think will be pretty. Just for some accents. Of course, we have to have yellow. It's so funny. I look through all my pages that I've colored, and everything is pink and blue and yellow. We can have maybe a little purple for accents. So I'm actually kind of picking out my accent colors right now. Just some colors. I just love colors that are bright and beautiful. Now I've done my swatching, and this is swatching. So I've done my swatching with this set. And what swatching is you actually, when you get this set, this is doesn't have color in it, and you go through and each pencil you do on this, and you color it really dark, right? And then you do it lighter below so that you can see what these colors are going to turn out to be. So this is lemon yellow. So what I'm going to do is look at lemon yellow, and this tells me what this pencil is going to turn out to be. So yeah, I want to select that one for sure. And cherry, like I'm looking at this cherry pink. I think I'm going to put scarlet red back. No, we have to have scarlet red. I don't know. I'm almost thinking a pinkier, almost like cherry pink might be better. Where's my cherry pink? Oh, yeah, almost like using cherry pink for my red. But red can be for highlights and stuff too. So we're going to keep it over here. And right here, I want to tell you too, I've got our labradorite. This is becoming our Let's Color mascot stone. It's labradorite. Isn't that beautiful? Some people call it dragon's eye. I find that it's wonderful to hold it in my hands when I do meditation. And we've got shungite, which is wonderful. This one's really dull. Sometimes they're very shiny. This is really good for clearing energy. And then we got selenite, my other favorite. Just calm. This is just like such a calming, beautiful, wonderful stone. So those are the ones that we're using today. So as always, I know when I get started, I'm always like, I don't know where to start. I don't know where to begin. I'm going to begin by sharpening some of my colors right now. And what I do When I find myself doing that, when I'm like, oh, I don't know where to begin, a lot of times I do things like I'm afraid I'm going to use the wrong color, or I'm going to start somewhere and I can't change it. So a lot of times what I do is I pick my favorite color and then I'll just pick one place and I'm going to do it. So what I'm thinking is my favorite color is this beautiful pink. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start by putting this beautiful pink around the edges of this right here, right? And this is a really soft pink, kind of a baby pink. So a lot of times these softer pinks are going to be the ones that we do highlighting and kind of shadowing with, to a little bit of shading with other colors like these deeper pinks or even that red, right? Oh my goodness, my nails are a mess. I apologize, especially to those of you that are watching this on a big screen. I should have my nails done, shouldn't I? Oh, I just have so much fun. I do. I paint with acrylic paints. I do very abstract painting. I take classes with a wonderful artist named Odie Harma. And sometimes my nails and stuff get kind of dry. The cuticles get kind of dry. And I love having fun. So a lot of times I forget to stop and take care of me, right? How many of you guys have done that? Even when we're doing fun stuff, we still need to take care of ourselves. So I'm going to bring this other kind of this cherry pink. This is what this is called. Cherry pink. I'm going to bring this in. I'm going to do the whole petals with this color on this one. Because from looking at this, I'm deciding these are two different types of plants, two different types of flowers. And I love this. I love this cupcake. This is one of the first coloring pages I did, and it's excuse me, one of the first coloring books that I actually put together and got out there, and I was so proud of myself. So it's so fun. And what you'll notice once you kind of get started, once it kind of gets rolling, you kind of start to notice that you begin to relax, right? Like you notice your body kind of begins to relax. Those of you that have minds that tend to be chatty, like my mind is chatty, you'll find that that kind of begins to quiet, right? That kind of begins to slow down a bit. It begins to just get a little bit quieter. I'm going to put a little yellow. I'm going to put a little yellow in the center here. A little Valentine's yellow. Can we do that? Can we have Valentine yellow? I think we can. I think we're going to use yellow in here. We're going to call it Valentine yellow. And then I'm looking at this icing on this one here, and it's got so many stripes. It's almost like I want to have it be all different colors. I want it to be the blue and the pink and the purple and the yellow. Should I do it? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's make it a Valentine rainbow Valentine cupcake. So I'm starting with this cherry pink and just putting some color in here, right? And right now I'm just kind of following the outlines, right? I'm not really filling in, and I'm not following all of the outlines either. I'm going to color a little bit of these bigger pieces in here. Because we're thinking of this as the swirl. It's the swirl. And we're going to have weird little things like this. I do use Especially at the beginning, I used a lot of AI for stuff and you get weird, funky things like this. But you know what? Still what? It's still fun, right? It's still fun. It's still swirly and squirrely and happy. Also, another thing to think of when you're putting your color in, especially when you're doing layers like this, like make sure that where you start and end is at a blank space at this point. So it's not looking like it's continuing because that'll give it more of a swirly kind of feel when you get down the road a little bit more. And I'm not sure how many colors I'm going to be using here. So I'm not counting like how many spaces I'm using. I'm just kind of putting it in. And then this bottom layer is woohoo. This bottom layer looks almost like it's melting a little bit, right? It's super yummy and creamy colors. And I'm going to do this one here too. And this is going to be kind of my pinky pink color. You know what I have too is I have this, it's kind of a rose petal pink that is looks supposed to be like that, but it's not quite that bright. But I'm going to bring that rose color in here a little bit more. And I think I'm going to make it so that this rose color is going to be a lot of it, a lot of this color. And you know what I'm going to be getting to, and you guys can be keeping your eyes open for this, is to get some fluorescent color pencils, because I love using fluorescent when I do my acrylic painting, which is super duper abstract. You know, I'm not painting trees and fruit in a bowl. I am doing very, very abstract stuff. I'm doing paint all over everywhere, and then images begin to emerge, and then I begin to develop those images, and I do it for fun. You know, it's not anything I'm ever gonna become famous for, or maybe I will. Who knows? I'm not gonna put that completely on there, but I do it for my mental health. Art is as much for mental health as for anything else. And I just love it. And remember at the beginning here too, we're just kind of putting color on too, right? We can always change it. We can always make it a little bit different. We can always add more. We can always take more away. We can always make things different. Ooh, I got this pretty color too. I love this color. And I'm actually going to bring this. This is like a beautiful purpley orchid kind of a color. I'm going to bring this down here and down here. Because we're doing pinks. We're doing our Valentine colors today. I kind of want to do this here. You know, something I do too. I always tell you guys, you don't have to color in the lines. You can color outside the lines a little bit. This is your painting, and you can do what you want. And it's not always about making it beautiful either. Sometimes your colorings, your paintings, your expressions, maybe they want to express something a little bit deeper, maybe something that needs to come out and be healed, to be cleared. Not everything needs to be beautiful. Sometimes a beautiful art expression is something that's not classically beautiful. You know, there's some artists that do some stuff that that I've seen that I'm kind of like, I don't understand that. And yet, there's something about it that is so beautiful and wonderful. So that's where we get to you do you. What floats your boat, right? And if floating your boat is making things beautiful, that's cool too. I like making things beautiful myself. I've really made an effort. I know this might sound kind of crazy, but I've made an effort to not make things beautiful. I've made an effort to not make things beautiful, to let things be kind of ugly, maybe even a little bit sloppy, and to let that be okay. And it's been a it's really been kind of a wonderful experience because I'm not trapped in that perfectionism thing. That we're really kind of programmed into. When we're kids, it's like we have to pass tests and we have to get A's and it has to be good and it has to, it has to. And we get programmed with that. And sometimes just the act and art of participating in something is beautiful and perfect. It doesn't always have to be some fabulous, wonderful thing. Sometimes it can be sloppy and messy and that's okay too, right? I love that. Sloppy and messy. All right, so we're getting some. So I got some pinkies and some purplies, and now I kind of want to bring a little bit. I think I'm going to bring the blues in as accents. So I'm going to add some yellow in here. This is our Valentine yellow, and I think I'm going to do most of. My yellows keep breaking. Castle art. I don't know why they break. I realize shipping and stuff like that could rattle them around, and I always want to make sure that I'm being gentle when I'm sharpening them, right? You want to be gentle, but I like to be able to press down. I like to be able to press down and put some color down. Get some color down on here. Ooh, look at this. It's already starting to look fun. I'm just going to color in everything else that's just kind of white. And we're still going to bring more color in. Remember, we have accents to do. We can bring other color in. We can darken colors. We can put other colors over to change some of the colors, right? There's so much that we can do. And I used to think, that I had to make it perfect, right? Like I had to make it perfect the first time. And I never understood the concept of layering. And I haven't really taken many actual coloring or painting classes. I've taken drawing classes, which I never did very good at those either. Probably why I stuck with coloring. But yeah, I never learned about shading and that when you paint or color or anything like that, you're allowed to you're allowed to do layers. You're allowed to do layers. And I was like, what? That made me so excited. Made me so excited. I love this. I love this. And I kind of want purple. Am I too? I don't know. I kind of want purple down here. I want this down here. I'm just going to color all of this down here purple. I'm probably going to bring something else in, kind of brighten it up. I use a lot of yellow over things. I like using yellow. I like bringing yellow in to brighten stuff up. And I want these up here to be kind of purple. Valentine circles. Valentine purple. Huh? We don't have to stick only with pink, do we? So now I'm going around just anywhere there's little balls, coloring those in, or teardrops. These I think I'm going to make blue so they are kind of like teardrops. So fun. So fun. And you know what I want to do? I want to bring some green in here. Just really quick, I want to bring some green on these leaves. I kind of want to just get that coloring in there, kind of get a feel for how that's going to be. I'm just going to color them really lightly. I'm not going to do any kind of highlighting or anything on this yet. Yet, I tell you, yet. Just get in here and just kind of see what's going with what. Sometimes, especially with the AI stuff, it gets a little bit crazy. AI gets kind of out of control. And I know there's such a controversy with using that. But you know what? I couldn't draw this stuff. I mean, maybe I could in 100 years, but I couldn't really draw this stuff. And it really makes me happy to be able to do this. And I understand artists that can draw this stuff and the frustration. And I absolutely honor all of that. And I like to think of this as an opportunity, to be able to express myself artistically and to be able to have that experience of creating and to allow that for others to in the big picture of all this stuff. I honestly don't see AI ever taking everything over and taking away from real artists, and here's why. We are organic beings. We are organic beings, and we feel within ourselves what is organic and what is not. We are all intuitive. We are all organic beings. And I'm going to say that word again, organic beings. And you can feel what's organic and what isn't. And so you can feel what's organic within artwork, within writing. I mean, already so many people can tell something that's written by AI or a song that's written by AI, or now they're starting to have these weird things. I saw something with I think it was Morgan Freeman, where he's talking, and all of a sudden I went, "That's not Morgan Freeman." I just knew. It's just intuitively I knew that it wasn't him. And I think that we all are able to discern that, and because of that, we're organic beings, and we need organic feels. We need organic creation. And so, AI might have its place in things, but I think ultimately it's going it's not going to be able to take over, you know. And some people say it's going to take over humanity. Well, I don't think so. That's just me. That's just my thinking, but I do see the concern. I do really honor the concern, and I do feel a little bit guilty using AI, and yet it brings such pleasure, and we can do so many wonderful things with it. So, I'm sharing that with you guys just for you to know that I'm not like AI all the way. I really honor both sides of the story. I honor both sides, and I think it's important that we do that. It's important we do that with a lot of things. is honor both sides of the story. Everybody has a point. Everybody's point of view, everybody's perception of things are valid and important. And I think when we begin to honor that with and for each other, I think we're going to find a lot more peace in our world. I think we're going to find that we're able to get along better and be kinder when we start realizing, we're all human beings. There's such an oh, this is conspiracy words, but agenda of division. It feels that way. I don't know. Maybe there isn't. And people get carried away on that. But when it all comes down to it, we're all people. We're all people. We all have the same thing. We all want to love and be loved. We all want to be honored. We all want to be important. We all want to feel loved. We all want to love who we want to love. And I think if we all just take a step back and stop trying to control everything, I think we're going to find our world begins to be a much happier place for everybody. And that's what I kind of strive for. It's just peace. What is that song? It's like, love, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. What's the song? I think it was in the 90s that a bunch of artists got together and did that. And I just was like, yes, that's what we need. That is what we need. Just being kind. Be honest. Quit stealing shit. Ooh, excuse me. There might be a Facebook boo-boo. I'm going to say it again. Quit stealing stuff, man. And I understand there's so much frustration out there. Oh, the world's a little bit crazy, isn't it? All right, I've got all the toppings done. Oh, this is so fun. And I want to make this a little bit darker. It needs to be a little bit darker now that I've got that purple in there, right? And don't forget, guys, I've got a Facebook page, or it's a Facebook group, Sacred Space Coloring Corner, where you can come on over and you can put your color page up on there and share it with everybody. Make sure that you sign it so that way nobody can grab it. Because who knows, you may be the next Picasso. I've seen some wonderful art that people have done, and there's some parents that are having their kids or grandkids color pages and sharing it over there. It's just so cool. We're all artists. They're beautiful. Absolutely stunning art that people are doing. And it makes me so happy. Ooh, this needs some. Got this beautiful color. I think it's this one. And I kind of want to bring just a little bit of outlining in here. Kind of bring a little bit of definition in there. And this is putting blue. I've got this beautiful blue. It's called ultramarine. And so it's bringing blue into the mix here, right? And I'm actually putting it next to the yellow. like one side or another of the yellow. And so that brings in that hue that kind of brings in a little bit of a green without it being green, right? Without it actually being green. What color do we do the cupcake tins? What color? I almost want to do them red and white. This is where I want to bring the red in. Oh, am I going to... Ah! I'm doing it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the outer part, and then I'm going to leave... And I'm coloring these sideways in case you guys didn't notice. Yes, this is good. And then I'm going to leave the little fold part white. I'm actually going to turn it a little bit for a second so I can get down these sides here. Ooh, look at that. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Valentine's Day. It's time to start getting ready. You know, one of the most important things during that Valentine season is to love yourself. You know, I have a saying with my students and clients and friends. You know, it's love yourself because that's where God is, you know. So many of the traditional teachings, but also ancient technology is, you know, we connect to God, whatever your concept of God is. I'm not here to teach about God, you know, or what God is. You know, everybody has their own concept, and you know, we all have our own personal connection to that. But you know, connecting with God is an inside job. You know, we do that from the inside. Oh, this is fun. Oh, wow, look at that. So it's like you go to the bakery, and the bakery knows it's Valentine's Day. So everything is in these red and white Valentine cupcake tins, right? The cupcake papers. So no matter what color your cupcake is, it's going to come in these red and white tins. So fun. So I'm actually going to put another layer of this red on here, make it a little bit more vibrant, just letting it be red. At first I wasn't sure, but I like it. It may clash a little bit. There may be a little clashy clash going on there. What do you think? A little bit, but I think that's okay. I think once we get some shading and stuff on and get all the whoop-de-doos and thingamabobs on the side colored in, which is where I think it'd be a good place to bring some more red in. And bring in what colors come are you know are in your mind when you think of Valentine's Day. You know, different traditions have different ideas of the colors of Valentine's Day. You know, not everybody, that's, you know, I'm in the United States, so that's kind of our traditional red and pink kind of thing, red, pink, and white, right? But there's other traditions, other countries that have different colors. I'd like to know what your traditions are. And even within families, you know, even within families. I've always loved pink. I'm just a pinky kind of a girl. I like that. And actually we can even bring some red up into some of the, like bring a little bit of red up here, whatever this thing is. What is this thing up here? I'm just bringing some red, almost like highlighty kind of things up here. It's like this little container here. I don't know what you are, little thing, but you're cute as heck. Little water popping out. So I put red there, but this cup liner is a little bit different. This cup liner doesn't have the white in it. So I feel like I want to do like I need some blue over here. I've got blue here. So like I need some blue over here. And so I'm going to kind of color, oh, this is a pretty blue. A little bit different, a little bit more of a turquoisey kind of blue. And I'm just kind of coloring the whole thing all the way across. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to do some outlining with some of this blue here. So, this is where we've got just kind of swirls and twirls and all kinds of stuff that kind of don't even make sense over here. But that's okay. Let's play with it. Let's bring color in. What do you want it to be? Right? So we've got some of this up here. You can maybe put some down here. One of the things, too, is you kind of want to balance stuff out, Just kind of bring some color. If you got some up here, bring it down here. Just a little balance. Doesn't have to be perfect either, right? Got some of this up here. We're going to bring some other different colors in. And we're just playing with it right now, too, right? We can change it. We can make things different if we want to. Can put other colors over it. We can change it by adding, highlights and stuff. So don't panic. And then pay attention. Are you breathing? I know a lot of times when I get into stuff, I find myself not breathing. Just pay attention to your breath. Ooh, pay attention to, are you breathing? I like that, with that highlighty around all that. I think I'm going to do more highlight with this color. I like it. It's almost like a lot of this stuff. This again is kind of a turquoisey blue. It could kind of go, because it's got, the turquoise has a little bit of green in it. It can be a little bit of taking place of some greenery, right? But I think of these lines kind of as decoration, right? It's like wherever these cupcakes are being held, this is all the decoration and the fun and the Valentine hoopla that's around it. Do you guys like that word, hoopla? Oh my gosh. The words we come up with in this English language. Hoopla. And how many of them have been borrowed? I almost said stolen. We'll be nice. We'll say borrowed from other languages, right? I mean, honestly, when I just said hoopla, I was like, that sounds almost like that could be something like a Native American, you know? Maybe we borrowed that from the Native Americans. Oh, don't get me started. Look at that. Isn't that fun? And I'm going to bring more color in for all of this. And I tell you what, you know what I'm thinking too? I think I'm going to wait until after we get beyond Valentine's Day. But I think that it will be fun to do a coloring where we pick colors we don't like. Like, I don't like orange. I don't know why. Orange has never done anything to me. Orange has always been kind and polite. But I don't like the color orange. I don't color with it. I don't use it. I don't wear it. I don't I don't use it. And I really, really, really don't know why. Because it's okay, it's fine. All right. So looking at this, we need some highlights. We need this orchid because these need highlight around them. Oh yeah, that makes all the difference in the world, doesn't it? Makes all the difference in the world. Get those highlights in there. And you know what? I was telling you guys last week, sometimes I color a little bit outside the lines. Because if you color right over the black lines, it's cool. You get a little bit of a hint of there being color there. But when you color outside a little bit, it's almost like it gives it kind of an aura. You guys are coloring auras now. Stick with me. I'll have you doing all kinds of weird stuff. Let's do this too. Let's do this inside. You can even make it a little bit thicker when you make a mistake. What is it that Bob Ross used to say? Happy, happy little mistakes. Oh, he was so much fun to watch. Oh, it's a happy little accident. It's a happy little accident. Look at that. See how we're getting more? And then I'm going to use a blue. I'm going to use an entirely different blue on the outside of this pink. Ooh. Oh, wow. That brings in an interesting effect there. You don't see a lot of blue in nature. Other than sky and water and all that kind of stuff, but like in flowers and stuff like that. And so it's interesting when you pull it in. And I feel like we need a little bit more highlights down here too. Matter of fact, this orchid color, what is it called? It's called Purple Light. I love this. This is such a great highlight color because it's bright. So, this one I'm coloring kind of inside the line because this below here is really black. Mid-Journey doesn't understand no grayscale. And so I'm actually coloring kind of inside the line here so you can really see. And there's just little shadowy things in there. I'm going to put that in there. Yeah, that makes that a little bit more. And then I'm actually going to do this here. And I feel like I want to bring more of this into some of these highlights that are maybe in the pink. Yeah, we're going to be using a lot of this color here today. We use some of the blue, right? Some of that dark blue to highlight, to bring some of that blue in here. Now I'm bringing this, I call it an orchid color. We colored with it in here, but now I'm using it also to highlight. It's too pretty not to use. Yeah, I like that. And do you guys ever feel like you kind of color yourself into a corner? Like where you use all these wonderful colors and it's like, woo, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh man. I do that a lot. But sometimes when I do that, what I'll do is I will use like a completely erroneous color, like it has nothing to do with anything that's going on, and just kind of pull it in. And a lot of times it kind of works. It kind of works. Okay, so I'm going to use purple. Is that purple going to work there? Because these outlines, ooh, that works better. Like I outlined this with blue, and it's pretty, but you can't really see it. I want to add something a little bit darker here. So I'm adding this purple over the blue just to give it a little bit more. Yeah, I like that. Wow. So fun. So fun. I like it. And then I'm going to bring some yellow just up into here. I love this yellow and kind of this turquoise color together. It's so pretty. So I'm going to bring some of this yellow into these swirly swirls and these spaces that we just outlined with this turquoisey color. I'm not really going to fill everything in. Those are my famous last words, though, aren't they? Which is the turquoise one right here. As you go along, you'll find places where you kind of missed, or I find that I do, where all of a sudden it's like, oh, wow, I completely missed that whole thing there. Oh, I love this yellow with this. It's so pretty. And I had someone say to me that when I color, I make no sense. And I was like, thank God, right? Thank God. I don't want to make any sense. Because what makes sense, supposedly, in the world these days doesn't make sense to me. So I'm good. I'm good with not making sense. Ooh, look at this big swirl. Bring this yellow in here. Oh, yummy. And we've got all of this beautiful greenery we still get to highlight too. Don't forget we get to do that as well. And do you notice how when we put this yellow over this turquoise blue, it brings that green in that's really pretty. I think that's why it's kind of working. It's kind of working up here with all this stuff up here that looks maybe like it should be greenery, huh? It's kind of looking like it should be greenery, but we're we're hitting the green zone by using the blue and the yellow together. So I'm actually going to go back and add a little bit more yellow and kind of take the yellow and go over the blue. Ooh, I'm cheating. I'm cheating, and it's actually turning everything a little bit green. Love it. So yeah, I'm bringing this in. I hope that yellow is allowed in Valentine land. I hope that who is it? The cherubs? The cherubs that bring Saint Valentine and that shoots people with the arrow so they fall in love. Hope they don't mind. Look at that. That's really pretty, huh? Let's bring this over here. Let's get all this yellowed. Ooh. I'm just coloring it in now. Ain't no stopping me now. Got the yellow going. So pretty. You know, and I really do get stuck on the same colors a lot, but you know, these are the colors that make me happy, and for now, they're the colors that I'm using. I hope they make other people happy too that I'm using them. So pretty. All right. Green, my friends. Let's do green, and let's use green greens, right? Let's use real greens. We've got these green guys right here. I'm using a little bit darker green to outline. And I'm doing kind of a thick outline on here because we don't really have much green. Even our green that we just made with the yellow and the blue isn't really green. So this is going to pop out, right? It's going to make it stand out really good. These pretty little leaves. Bringing in Mother Nature into our picture here. I get so excited in my coloring, I forget that I'm supposed to be keeping this on the camera. Keeping you guys seeing what I'm doing. It's like, hey, lady, we can't see. Look how pretty. Isn't it amazing that in just an hour of your time, you can draw something so beautiful? Aren't you amazing? I mean, seriously. And that you're here and you're doing it, whether you're doing it live or doing it later. I know a lot of people that I know, they do it a little bit later. Shout out to you guys too, you know, whenever we can get the time. That's why I do it as a video and keep it up, right? I keep it up and I keep it up for everybody. I don't just do a live video and then turn it off. What do you guys think about the white there? I feel like I want there to be a color, but I don't know what color. Because we've got pinks, we've got all the colors. Isn't that looking pretty though? Aren't you guys beautiful? Wish I had a hot pink. That's what I want for that right there. I want hot pink. And I don't have a pink that's hot like that. You know, if anybody knows, I'm going to turn this way again. I'm doing pink. I'm putting pink in here and I'm just going to color it real. Because the pinks I have are more of a, like a kind of a rose pink or a, what I used to call a mauve. Oh yeah, but this is going to be. But I'd like to find fluorescent pencils. If anybody knows where to find or a good set of fluorescent, and I don't need like a bazillion of them, just basically, pink and yellow actually. Maybe an orange, a fluorescent orange. I think I'd like to color, but the fluorescent orange. Orange would be okay with me if it was a fluorescent. One thing about these castles is they are soft. It's what makes them so wonderful to color with. But they are soft. You kind of use a lot of pencil. But that just makes it, you get to buy new ones. And you get to swatch again. Maybe you won't. But you can if you want to. All right, let's get this up here. And we are almost at, we're an hour and 15 minutes. Woo! For those of you that have stuck with me all this time, bless your heart. I just want to, I like that pink in there. What do you think? I think it just brings a little bit more Valentine fun. Going to color these in a little bit deeper now. Now that we got to kind of have this all tied down, right? We all kind of know what we're doing. Now we can solidify it. It's what I call solidifying, like anchoring it in, right? You're like, yeah, this is going to be pink. We don't need to change it. And also when we do this too, and we kind of bring this in, it makes it like it helps to blend all the colors together too. Like right now when I'm doing this the second time that I've gone over this, but I've got all this beautiful purple in here now. And now it just kind of blends it all together. It makes it really pretty. So, you'll find as you get braver, for those of you that are a little kind of new to this, as you get braver, that coloring becomes a layering thing like we were talking about before. It becomes an experience in layering. And actually, I kind of want to bring this pink. Isn't this interesting? I'm bringing pink in here over the purple, but it's actually deepening. Oh, that's pretty. It's actually deepening the purple. That was an unexpected. That was a happy accident. A Bob Ross moment right there. Very cool. We can even bring these in a little bit deeper now. I always like to start out light, and then we can add shadow or take away, even erase. I use erasers on my colored pencils. Not a lot, but I do. Woo! Look at that. Look at that. I'm going to darken this up here. Look, I cheated and I brought in more of this turquoise that I love so much. I love it. I can't wait to see yours, you guys. I can't wait to see what you've done. We are at a minute and 4. Oh, thank goodness. I was looking at the second clock before. So thank you for joining me for Triple the Cupcakey Fun. I can't wait to see yours. Come on over to the Facebook group. It's a group. It's an open group right now. And it's called Sacred Space Coloring Corner. That's what we do here is we hold sacred space as we color together. And we're going to be learning about, different mediums and stuff. Right now, we're just kind of all getting warmed up. We're using crayons. We're using markers. We're using color pencils. And it's super fun. And look what I did. I printed out another one, trying to make sure you guys can print stuff out. It's a little bit smaller. And then I printed this one out. I find when I print out, if I click on it, if I use my mouse, I've got a iMac, and so there's no mouse to it. But if I connect my mouse to it and I double click and open it up and print it, you get the full size there. So thank you guys for being here with me. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being the amazing people that you are and coming and joining me on this coloring journey. You know, this coloring journey that we can all color together. Don't forget to sign your artwork because someday you may be famous. You never, ever know. So I send blessings to each and every one. Again, I thank you and I appreciate you. Keep coloring until next week. I'm not sure what I'm going to put up. It'll probably be Valentine theme, maybe flowers and hearts and all that good stuff. So I love you guys. Everybody take it easy and let's continue to color. Big hugs until next week.